Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to every one of you guys, the ones who are already attending the summit in person and also the ones who are dialing in from around the world. Hope you've had already a really nice session as well as insightful talks and speeches and everything, and as well as networking sessions. I'm happy to be able to attend the 19th Shanghai International IP Forum as a speaker, as well as the third SIPSA International Summit on the IP services. My topic going to be mainly today on intellectual property strategy for a small, medium-sized businesses. I called it European edition because I'm based right now in Hamburg, Germany. But our company and myself, we have been actually focusing on international market. We had the idea to bring actually our knowledge and experience, our cross-border experience all the way from APEC region all the way basically to Europe. Our talk today going to be mainly, as I said, on intellectual property. The agenda for our call is the brief introduction from myself, my company, and then we dive into intellectual property definition to bring ourselves under the one umbrella and in one page, and then we go actually to the intellectual property rights. What should be included in your IP strategy? What are the common pitfalls and challenges that the small medium sized businesses are facing when it comes to the IP activities, and why you as a company should have intellectual property already set in your business plan. And then we dive into the business assets and how IP can actually contribute to business assets, and then go forward with the different type of tools of the IP protection. And then at the end of the day, and the end of the session, we're going to talk about the geographical indication, which is one of the integral part of the go-to-market strategies. The introduction part, let me start with the introduction of my company, INVEST-IN-TEK GmbH, which is the Hamburg-based company. We are mainly helping founders, entrepreneurs to build, grow, scale, and expand their businesses across the border, going from one region to the other region. Our main focus has been from basically the APEC region, meaning the Singapore, Hong Kong, China, South Korea, India to some extent, and bring the knowledge, technologies, already existing businesses over there all the way to Europe, mainly Germany, German-speaking countries, as well as Nordics and Benelux. And we have been doing it with the help of over 20 experts from all around the world, and who are basically market and industry experts. And we are together with our core team, which consists of growth advisors and venture capitalists. We support entrepreneurs and founders structure, accelerate, and basically bring their solution to the next level and next market. What we are doing, we are supporting and helping strategic guidancing, basically the go-to-market strategies, soft landing, talent acquisition, as well as helping companies for the next funding rounds and getting actually all the goals in their next fundraising rounds. INVEST-IN-TEK takes time basically to educate founders and entrepreneurs about their potential next market to enter, being it actually Europe, what would be actually the next market to enter, and help them basically to together with us, all together, customize their go-to-market strategy, develop the plan, the roadmap of how they can basically expand to the next market. That's why we have covered actually different industry, different companies, B2B all the way to B2B2C across various industries, verticals, smart city, for example, cybersecurity, e-mobility, logistic, infrastructure side, supply chain, sustainability as well, and all the way to the partners and clients like governmental startup institutions, prominent VCs, family offices, science parks, and entrepreneurship organizations in those regions. As I said, the APEC, mainly China, Singapore, Hong Kong, as well as South Korea, as well as on our side in Germany. If I want to actually introduce myself, as I said, my name is Sam Vakili. I'm an international keynote speaker, judge, coach, expert, panelist, and mentor in various organizations. I have been across different regions: Austria, Germany, Nordics, Benelux area, and I have been helping different organizations, different initiatives: German entrepreneurship, German startup champs, German acceleration, Scalar 8, InnoMatch, scale up landing pad program in North Rhine-Westphalia, as well as in Hamburg province. And I've tried my best actually to bring the value out of my experience and what I have been doing during the past 15 years right now in the VC side, as well as the go-to-market strategy guy, and the experience I gained actually there to help other entrepreneurs to come from APAC region, mainly those regions that I already mentioned, all the way to Germany. I help them to have a soft landing in a German market, i.e. European market, as well as German-speaking Nordics, as well as the Benelux area. So let's get to the topic: intellectual property strategy for small, medium-sized businesses. Intellectual property refers to a creation of the mind, such as invention, being an artistic work, design, symbols, names, and images used in a commercial, used basically in a commercial side. So that's the definition provided by the World IP organization. IP is protecting basically your IP is basically protected by different tools and different types. We have patents, we have copyrights, we have trademarks, we have trade secrets, and so on and so forth. But the IP system itself aims to foster the environment where creativity, as well as the creators and innovators in one hand as one of the stakeholders, and the users and public sector as another basically stakeholder, can contribute to each other, and both of them have a fair place and a balance between each other in order to benefit from the creation, benefit from the innovation which is offered by those creators and innovators. What is important is that the intellectual property rights protects those who have created those innovation design symbols, words, commercial names, brands, images, and so on. Just in Germany, if you look at the in IP sector, the IP is protected from the imitation through the granting of the property right. As I said, the patents, intellectual industrial design, for example, patents, the trademarks, and so on and so forth. But generally, when you look at the IP rights in Germany, that includes patents, copyrights, industrial design rights, trademarks, plant variety rights, trade dresses, geographical indications, which we will get into that, and some jurisdictions also the trade secrets. As we go forward, when we are talking about the challenging and complicated concept, we usually try to wrap it up in a framework, and that's not anything else. So right now, in order to understand what is the IP strategy, we want to bring it to the framework. The framework components are 5 different sections, different components it has, this framework. One is the development and commercialization of your technology. What does this mean is that whenever you want to actually go out there and include the IP strategy into your business plan, which is one of the integral part of your business plan, from your standpoint should be this, but from the external, like investors, other stakeholders standpoint, is exactly the same case, is that you need to understand what was the process of the development on your technology, the components needed on your technology, the tools you have used there, as well as the process of the commercialization. And that brings you actually to the second point, second component, which is the development and ownership, meaning that those development of the technologies and also the commercialization process brings you the idea of which parts should be owned by you and what kind of IP rights should be used for protecting that specific IP, right? So, for example, for the due diligence or for the valuation process, you definitely need actually the IPR in place, and that create already a boost to your valuation as well as the increase the efficiency in your due diligence plan and process from your point of view, of course, as well as from the investor's point of view. As well as, of course, in your IP strategy, you should manage the IP-related costs. We have fixed costs, variable costs, ongoing costs, as well as the enforcement of the IPR, which the insurance here is the key there. And then let's move to, as we already covered actually different components of a framework of the IP strategy. It's also worth thinking about what are the pitfalls, what are the challenges. Of course, we know that the small, medium-sized businesses, they usually actually avoid going through the IP. And that's the first reaction. Why is that? Because the IP filing is quite time-consuming, complicated, as well as costly for basically small companies like startups, scale-ups, SMBs, and so on and so forth. But let's check what can happen if you don't take seriously such kind of stuff. As you have heard actually this sentence somewhere else, but I just wanted to bring this phrase here. Failing to plan is planning to fail also in this case. I mean, if you are not filing for your IP, basically you're planning to fail in future because you haven't planned and you failed actually to plan. Why I'm saying this is that, of course, in different sections, different in your life, in your business life cycle, you have different sections, different areas where you probably need to raise funds, for example, or you need to have a trade partner, or need to have a tech partner, and so on and so forth. If it is the case, usually the first thing that comes up in those discussions and negotiations is basically the IP. And if you have the IP rights, if you filed any IP, and so on and so forth. Being a part, I mean, putting this aside, the importance of that from the positive point of view, even if you look at the reports coming out of the European Patent Office and European Union intellectual property, you can see the SMBs that have filed at least one intellectual property right in their whole life cycle are 21% more likely to experience growth period afterwards. Why is that? Because you already create credibility in your company, because you already filed those IP, you already have a patent, which these are crucial factors when it comes to, for example, attracting investors. Then comes actually the second pitfall, which is the no protection for your trademark. The trademark register can be used to avoid stepping on toes. Why is that? Is that either yourself have, in order to file those trademark documentation, need to do your homework, or the trademark office will look into your brand name, logo, image, design, and so on and so forth, the one that you want to register under the trademark registration. And then it will tell you that your name is quite similar to that specific company. And that needs to be done from the beginning. If you spend a whole lot of money on creating a brand identity, and suddenly after a couple of years or months that you spend a lot of money, realize that it's too similar or identical to another company, that's a waste of time, and you will get into trouble, costly as well as legally. Then the third one is that who owns what, actually, at the end of the day. Who owns what? That's also important to consider, that these days we are actually outsourcing many things. Design of the website, design of the product, design of the production line, a component in our production line, component in our design, packaging, and so on and so forth. But it is always important to have a well-drafted contract which has the clause about who owns what, the appropriate IP clauses actually in your contract, which needs to be there and be proven by the professionals in that area in order to avoid any difficulties at the end of the day, and creates understanding for you and also for your contractor who owns the IP of this design, this package, this product, this component at the end of the day. And also confidentiality part is important. Confidential information may be commercially valuable for you guys, and or can be valuable down the line as you grow your business. And that should be also drafted inside your contract as a confidentiality clause, and needs to be also taken care and also proved and drafted by professionals. And then at the end of the day, do your homework. That's another pitfall, because what are you or competitors doing? You have to know it. What inventions are already out there? Do you need a license for a key component of your invention or not? These are the questions which should be answered, and you need to do your homework, and then you will be able to take care of those kind of questions and answer those kind of questions. Let's get to the benefits of the IP strategy. We already talked about what should not be done and the pitfalls and everything if you're not doing that, but it's why should we do the IP strategy? What are the benefits? Of course, when you look at the current market, we are facing a booming knowledge-driven economy, which boosts the IP's strategy urgency for sure on day-to-day basis. As you can see, innovative brand new products, brands, creative designs appears all the day on daily basis, which is a result of human innovation and creativity. But the small, medium-sized companies, startups who are inventing these kind of products or innovative products, due to the lack of time, resources, or knowledge, they avoid actually go filing IPs. And that's basically the issue here. And the benefit of having the IP strategy is that you can provide a clear plan for protecting your technology at the end of the day if you have an IP strategy set. And the investment in your technology, identifying and mitigating IP-related threats to your technology and your business. Of course, supporting due diligence process when it comes to fundraising rounds, increasing the understanding of your business, improving the decision-making process at the end of the day. And the benefit of, just to give you an example, I already mentioned that if you have the IP in place, investors will be more attracted to your business, more willing to actually look into your solution, to your decks, basically. You can attract more tech partners because your plan is already set and clear. Protect the market share that you have had and you want to have in future. The valuation will be increased at different stage of fundraising or exit, and also the profit margin where you can actually earn money out of your IP and so on and so forth. That's it, where the profit and then earning money comes in. IP equals, you can basically create business asset out of your IPs. Why is that? Sometimes intangible assets can be more valuable than tangible assets. A property can be valued less than the brand of the company, for example. And that is where the intellectual property protection comes in. A crucial point about the legal protection of intellectual property is that it turns intangible assets into exclusive property rights. In other words, IP protection can make your intangible asset a bit more tangible, if you want to call it like this, by turning them into valuable exclusive assets, which you can basically, by that, boost your productivity, earn licensing fee, for example, receive royalty out of that. And these are all the benefits of protecting your IP. And if you don't do that, basically you have your product, your basically invention outsourced out there, which can cause different difficulties for you guys at the end of the day. We have already mentioned 4 different type of common types of intellectual property. The copyright, which will be valid 70 plus years after the creation. The trademark, which is basically can product the word, phrase, symbol, logo, basically the brand identity of the product, which can go lifelong as soon as the business going, but it should be renewed every 10 years. And then also the utility patent, which you basically protect invention of different kind for 20 years, and that should be unique, that should be novel by sense and by itself. And the trade secrets, which is something that your company, depending on what company is it, what stage is the company, is it the IP company? Usually it works for bigger company, the public companies, or the ones who are filed with any official official offices that is relevant to those, because they have to protect their trade secrets in order to avoid any economic losses at the end of the day. Last but not least is the geographical indication for craft and industrial product. Of course, GI or geographical indication links actually the intellectual property right that links the specific product to the region, meaning that, for example, the wines which is produced in Toscana in Italy, for example, or made in Germany brand. And we're talking about mainly a region, or basically we're talking about the concept of brand imaging and so on and so forth, and those kind of like a champagne or something like that, which belongs which connects actually one region to one brand or one name, has been around as a framework since 1992 as well. But we don't have any EU-wide, European-wide GI protection for industrial goods. But if you guys want to come to any countries, like for example, from China to Germany, you have to check on country by country basis, or in some cases on province by province cases, that we can help you on that if it comes to that. And if you guys want to set a footprint in Germany, so we have experts who can basically help you on case by case project. Last but not least, the good news. GTM questions, anything related to go-to-market strategy, guys, you can come to us and we'll be happy to help you. We at INVEST-IN-TEK support you in gaining a clear picture of the go-to-market strategy, including your IP profiling and any risks you might face on expanding to the European market as well. You can find my WeChat number here, just added. That's the same for WhatsApp. You can just call me directly, ask your questions. There we have experts. You can email us. We can give you more feedback on that. You can find also myself under Sam Vakili in LinkedIn. Feel free to connect with me and also write me on LinkedIn as well as email us at contact@investintek.com if you have any question. Don't forget to put my WeChat and WhatsApp number if you have any question regarding go-to-market strategies, as well as patent-related, IP-related questions in Germany, in Europe, let me know. We would be willing to help you, and we will be happy to help you on any of those topics. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Enjoy the summit.